So you're let off the hook.
Thank you, Councillor Quid.
Councillor Jackie?
Yes, thank you, Diane. I would like to propose Keith Henson to become the chair, please.
You've got a few thumbs up, yeah, a few hands.
Happy to second that.
Councillor Keith, are you happy? Great.
The word is ecstatic.
That was good, wasn't it? It was all that talking we did beforehand, Keith.
Councillor Keith, shall I hand over to yourself now?
Diolch yn fawr. Thank you, Dian. Just i wirio bod deunydd cyfeithi yn gweithio i bawb. Os rwy'n yn bodlon rhoi llaw lan neu bus iawn. Na ni, gret, diolch yn fawr. Wel, mater nesaf wedyn yw penodi is-cadeirydd. Fi'n cymeru bod hawl da fi gynnig, os Dian? Hawl da fi gynnig is-cadeirydd? Nominato?
I believe you can, Clive.
Yeah.
I'm ever so sorry. I was trying to get the English translation available, so I didn't understand. So can you repeat the question? Sorry, Chair.
Yeah, iawn. Am I entitled to nominate a member as vice chair?
Yes, you can, Chair.
Na ni. Alla I gynnig cynghorydd Jackie Charlton wedyn dy plîs fel is-cadeirydd.
Need a second, Chair?
Yeah, Alun Williams wedi eilio. Mae pawb yn bolon dwylo lan, iawn? Na ni, iawn, na ni. So, Jackie, cymeru bod chi'n hapus I gymeryd yr swydd fel is-cadeirydd?
I am very happy, thank you. Yes, thank you very much, Keith.
Diolch yn fawr. Diolch yn fawr. Iawn. Nesa ewn ni mlaen I pwynt 2, y croeso ac ymddeiriadau. Wel, fel dwi'n gael ei nodi'n barod, croeso i'r cyfarfod. Ddim yn siŵr os ymddeiriadau I gael. Ann, Dian neu Jonathan, os ydych chi'n gwybod am rhai?
Yes, apologies from Councillor Angela Davis and Councillor David Selby.
Okay, diolch.
Sorry, Chair, and also from Katie Spain.
Na ni, gred, diolch yn fawr. Nesa, os ewn ni at pwynt 3 wedyn de, felly'r cofnodion. Ewn ni trwyddo nhw fesul dudalen a wedyn jyst am pwyntiau gweithredu a fi siŵr bydd Ann yn gallu dod mewn wedyn hefyd wedyn. Felly, tudalen 1. Tudalen 2. 3. 4. A 5. Felly, pwyntiau gweithredu fyna, os tudalen 1 dim byd. Tudalen 2. Tudalen 2, mae da ni dosbarthodd Ann e-bost y dynol cyn y gyfarfod. Hwna'n iawn fyna. Nodwyd y pwynt gweithredu. Hefyd a tudalen 2, oes rhywbeth ar goll rhan cyfrestrwydd a dyrchafiad. Dwedodd GT byddai hyn yn dod o dan y polisiau newydd ymddygiad. Nodwyd y pwynt gweithredu na. EW, Alun Williams, oes lle unrhyw beth am y rôl allweddol, a gallai'r canolbarth ei chwarae. Eto daw hynny o dan polisiau cysylltiad strategol, nodwyd y pwynt gweithredu yna. Fframwaith ar farnu lles integredig, codwyd gan y pwyllgor, nododd y cadeirydd bod trafnidiaeth cymunedol yn rhan bwysig o'r ffordd bydd yn rhaid ni ddarparu trafnidiaeth. Ystod eang o is-feini prawf ar draws yr ardaloedd hynny, mae trafnidiaeth cymunedol yn ymddangos. Ond gallem gyfeirio fwy yn ymgyrchol at hynny yn y fan hon, efallai fewn pobl a chymunedau. So, felly nodwyd y pwynt gweithredu fyna. Dalen 4. Cadeirydd, mae angen i'n sicrhau bod yn amlygu hynny fel mater y teimlo sy'n bwysig ni yn y canolbarth. Nodwyd y pwynt gweithredu. Sesiad amgylcheddol strategol, codwyd gan y pwyllgor, y cadeirydd, sut ydym ni fel pwyllgor yn monitro ni er mwyn sicrhau fod yn digwydd. I pan fod hwn wedi cwblhau asesiad ar y polisia, gallwn dynnu eich sylw at unrhyw feisydd mae angen. Nodwyd y pwynt yna. na ni fan 'na wedyn de. Pwyntiau yna i gyd wedi wneud. Pawb yn hapus yna. Os rhywun yn bodlon cynnig ac eilio bod y cyfnodion yn iawn. Clive yn cynnig.
Gynnig, bod nhw'n gywir.
Clive yn cynnig. Jackie yn eilio. Gret. Diolch yn fawr. Diolch, Jackie. Pwynt 4. Datganiadau o diddordeb. So felly os unrhyw datgan o fuddiant a dderbyniwyd gan aelodau mewn perthynas ac y temau i'w drafod ar yr agenda, neu os maen nhw yn dod i fyny, plis godwch llaw er mwyn i ni cael nodi hynny wedyn de. Diolch yn fawr. Na ni. Mlaen i pwynt 5 wedyn ar yr agenda, yr adroddiad RTP a dogfennau cysylltiedig y cynllun trafnidiaeth rhanbarthol. Felly mae rhain ar yr dogfennau o tudalen 7 i 468. A byddai'n gofyn cwestiynau ar y diwedd i cael cynnal test i chi gyd wedyn. So, draw iawn wedyn y blwydd.
Thank you, Chair. Okay, I will obviously congratulate you all on the 468 pages that you've all gone through of the RTP and appendices. And it's an enormous piece of work, and I congratulate you on joining me on this process. I'm going to share my screen. I've done a short presentation to take you through the report. Felt that it would be a bit easier for everybody. I can access it. From the beginning. Hope you can all see this.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Lovely, thank you. Right, so I'm going to take you through. Since our last committee meeting on the 30th of July, where we talked about the outline draft that was required to be sent to Welsh Government for consideration ahead of our formal document being compiled. And you can see here within the time plan delivery that we've had a delay as part of that. Obviously, we presented it in September. And I said 4 weeks on this, but it was actually ended up being a 6-week delay to this process, and it's had a knock-on effect to the rest of the programme, which brings us in to our position here now in January. So why were there delays? What happened? So following the Welsh Government's comments to the outline draft and wider strategic and local issues raised, we had 2 further RTP working group workshops were held to try and resolve some of the issues raised by government. And the issues that were raised were about text changes, review of objectives to make them more specific, to consider a review and evaluation links to land use planning, to review policy wording, links to the interventions and projects, are more specific and focused to delivery within the 5-year plan to align to existing Welsh Government funding streams. On our delivery, they wanted us to consider how best to group the projects and schemes and request further information from local authorities and to rerun the prioritisation matrix that Transport for Wales provided to us. And as a result of all of the amendments we made, we then had to rerun the environmental assessments, that's strategic environmental assessment, that's the integrated wellbeing assessment, and the corporate joint committees integrated, yes, forgive me, integrated
Impact.
Thank you, assessment. Thank you. Struggling with all these anomalies. So we have a regional transport plan and a delivery plan. And within this, they are the enclosure 1 and all the appendices of 1 to 9. And the overall elements of the RTP is to identify the issues and current situation, the long-term vision, the objectives, the policies and the schemes. So as I take you through the RTP, sections 1, 2 and 3, bring forward the case for change, which was already submitted to government. And within that, it sets out the challenges, issues, opportunities and evidence, as well as the plans for the engagement. Section 4 of the plan sets out the vision, and that's an accessible, low carbon, efficient, well-connected rural transport system that supports sustainable economic growth, prosperous communities and a vibrant culture within the distinctive region of Mid Wales. Also within section 4, we set out the objectives, and they are around access for all, choosing more sustainable transport and travel options, strategic transport connectivity, modal shift, levels of walking and cycling and wheeling, environmental impacts of transport, resilience and safety and better use of existing systems, and interchange and integration between modes of transport. Section 5 of the RTP talks about interdependencies. So it's not just us, but other things need to take place. So there's Welsh Government and Transport for Wales. There's public and private sector partners, including education, health, tourism, leisure, key employers, transport operators and the freight industry, local communities and community-based organisations, and other CJCs in Wales, our neighbouring authorities, and also those within England, cross-border priorities. There's existing partnerships such as the Growing Mid Wales Partnership and the continued Wales-England cross-border engagement. There's also third-party partners such as Sustrans, community transport providers, community rail partnerships. So all of these are all interdependent on what we as local authorities are able to deliver. Within the plan, we set out what we think Welsh Government need to do for us. That's develop and deliver rail improvements for Mid Wales, develop and deliver regional bus services improvements, including future bus franchising, development and delivery of active travel improvements on the strategic road network, development and delivery of the strategic road improvements. We then moved on to section 6 of the plan, which are our policies, and they've grouped around themes, so land use planning, accessibility, behavioural change, strategic connectivity, modal shift, walking, cycling and wheeling, environmental, resilience, safety and making better use, integration and interchange. We then move on to section 7 of the plan, and these are our statutory checks. We are required to do these. So integrated wellbeing assessment, strategic environmental assessment, habitats regulation screening, and the CJC's integrated impact assessments. Section 8 of the plan talks about delivery, and we start off with some background about historical funding for transport and the types of things that it covers, and the percentage of funding that Mid Wales gets is only 4% of the total allocation for Wales currently. So delivery and how we've set about delivery of projects and schemes, we've categorised them under headings. So the strategic connectivity, walking, cycling and wheeling, public transport and integration, road safety, greener vehicles, community transport and behavioural change. And finally, we're required under the guidance to set out monitoring and evaluation. And this is set in line with Welsh Government's National Monitoring and Evaluation Plan, and we'll be required to do annual reporting and review data on a 3-yearly basis. So I'm just going to stop sharing this. Hopefully that's put it into some sort of context. Hopefully you've come back to me. I can't see you, but hopefully I will in a minute.
Yeah, no, we're back.
We're back,
Thank
you.
Gret, diolch yn fawr iawn am hwnna. Mae hwnna'n rhoi mewn i rhoi syniad i
So
ni
I'm
gyd.
happy to take questions.
Llaw gyntaf lan, Clive Penny, da fi, please.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, Anne. I've become a little bit confused by the whole report, I must confess. The document which starts on page 9 of the agenda refers to the plan being in enclosure 1, but in the report itself we don't have any enclosures. We have a number of appendices, and they don't appear to relate to the sections of the RTP which were mentioned. You mentioned in your slides, so I'm totally confused. I hope that others aren't as confused as I apologize if I've got it. But I simply don't know where the RTP is.
Okay, we did send papers out.
Yeah, I got the papers.
Yeah, sure. Obviously, I can't see what Powys County Council have put on the website. Let me just try and get to that position. See, when I sent it up, it was all sent out in. Okay, so pages, let me just go through the pages then for you. Page 17 is the regional transport plan. And that covers, within this plan, I'm going to share my screen now because you're not going to see where I am.
So that appendix 1 is enclosure 1 because the report says enclosure 1 and now you've got an appendix. So just, okay. But then you refer to sections 1 to 9 of the report. And if you then go to the contents page, which starts on page 57 of the bundle. No, you've gone too far. Page 57. No, sorry.
I'm on page 30 here. Are you talking about page 57 of the actual report or page 57 of the document?
No, it's page 21. I'm ever so sorry. On page 21, the index to the RTP starts on page 21. There we are.
Yeah.
But if you go above that, and those sections 1 to 10 there don't correlate to what the slides which you presented, and that's confused me. I'm sorry.
Okay, the slides which I presented to you do correlate to sections 1, 2, 3, 4, etc.
Yeah.
So they do correlate to the RTP. Okay. So I've talked you through these sections now. Okay.
I'm ever so sorry. I was totally confused. Okay, members aren't confused. As long as members are not confused, that's fine.
Na, mor beth fi'n gallu gweld, beth oedd ar y tudalennau, wrth gwrs fi'n dilyn yr un Cymraeg, ond o'r rhan tudalennau, wel, o'r cyflwyniad lawr, o'n nhw yn cyfateb i sleidiau oedd gyda Ann, oedd yn mynd o 1 lawr i 9. So, mae'n oes pawb arall yn dilyn yr un peth, pawb yn...
Chair, in which case I apologise. I apologise. I'm sorry to have taken up your time.
Na, mae'n iawn, fi'n credu beth yw i. Mae fe'n ddogfen gynhwysfawr iawn, wrth gwrs. Mae yna dipyn o wahanol adroddiadau hefyd. Mae fe'n un... Wel, ar y dechrau mae fe'n dilyn at ei gilydd, a wedyn, wrth gwrs, mae fe'n ehangu mwy mewn at hynny wedyn. So, oeddi pawb arall yn gytun bod chi wedi gallu dilyn? Ie, Clive yn gallu dilyn? Jackie, iawn? Ie, mae'n siŵr ble mae Alun. Fi'n ffili gweld ar sgrin, ond... Ie, Alun, iawn?
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine, yeah.
Iawn, oce. Ie, ond fi'n credu bod digon rwydd i fynd ar goll rhwng yr cyflwyniadau ac yr cynllun, wrth gwrs. So, na, iawn, diolch. Ie, cwestiynau neu sylwadau eraill fyna wedyn, please. Na, dim un llaw lan i weld. And rhywbeth arall i...
So within my report, Oh, Matt.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it was just on
Right,
on your
Matt,
sorry, Chair. Yeah, it was just on the point, and when on your slide you said obviously it'd been knocked out because of the delay. So in terms of next steps, then where are we then in terms of that timeline?
Okay, so today there is obviously a recommendation for members to I come back to the original report. I have 100 pages open here. Okay. So the recommendation is thought to agree and to recommend approval of the draft RTP and appendices for public consultation, and that to go. So if that's agreed today, that will go to the full CJC committee next week on the 28th of January. And if the full CJC approve that for public consultation, we then go out to public consultation during February and March, at which time we will then have to produce a full consultation document and necessary amendments to the plan, and bring them back to you, hit this committee and then the full committee in order to have sign off sometime in May to government for approval.
Okay, thanks, Anne.
Iawn, diolch Matt, diolch am y cwestiwn. Ie, Cynghorydd Jackie Jalton yna, please.
Thank you, Chair. It's more of a comment than anything, really, I suppose. Some of us on this call have been living and breathing this regional transport plan for the last 18 months and have gone through section by section. We've updated, we've discussed, we've cajoled, we've argued over some of the finer points. And I think, you know, we are where we are. This is the plan that we've got. And now it's time to go out for public consultation, and I think that's, you know, what the recommendation is asking us to approve today, which I'm quite happy to approve this to go out to public consultation. But as I say, I've just got some comments. In a way, Clive, you're right. This is a really complicated document. The document is, as it's set out, is because that's how Welsh Government has asked for this document to be set out. It's had consultants moving it forward step by step. And I think it's true to say that we did get to a point, and I can't remember what the date was, that we had a meeting between Paris and Ceredigion to look at this. And there was some disquiet from Paris officers about some of the information that was in there. And we did ask that those points were considered. And I think, Anne, I'm right in saying that all the points were considered and are now in the document. And I was quite keen to see where they were. And we had a pre-meet and we discussed this and said that perhaps some of those issues could be brought up just to assure us all that those points that were raised are or have been included in this document. So I'm not sure whether you're able to go through that or where it is on it, because I haven't been able to sort of tease that out, and I thought we might have a conversation about that. But it is a huge piece of work. There have been challenges along the way, not least a general election, which also did delay this report, but then it delayed everybody's report. It wasn't just Ceredigion. But this is something I think is absolutely crucial to us as Mid Wales, between Ceredigion and Powys, is to make sure that we've got a regional transport plan that we can use and is used, because we know that we've put a huge amount of effort into this, and we don't want it to be swept away because a new policy comes through from Welsh Government and asks us to do something different. And I think the other issue that I really wanted to raise today as well is that I'm sure Ceredigion, well, I know Ceredigion is the same as Powys. Transport is absolutely, fundamentally crucial to the way that we will be delivering our services going forward. We know that we're reducing our services one way or another, and we know that that's going to have an impact on all of our residents. But what we want to be assured of is that they can reach the places that they need to go, because it's going to be further and further away from where they are, and that they can reach it comfortably and within a timescale which is achievable. And at the moment, we know that our transport system doesn't comply with that if you've got hospital appointments, or if you need to get to school, or if you need to get to work on time. All of those things are out of reach of so many. And I think we need to keep on pressing home some of the issues that we've raised as councillors, so as the politicians, to make sure that we actually deliver for the people of our two counties. So those are the kind of observations that I wanted to make. But Anne, if you could just sort of assure me that we know where we are with those updates that we asked for from Powys.
Yes, thank you, Jackie. I was just going to say, and there are so many, I didn't particularly want to go through every single one with you. All I can assure you is that we meticulously closed out each of those particular issues at the 2 workshops that we had, in order to seek your agreement that the amendments we had made had covered out the comments that you'd made. I hoped that during those meetings that you confirmed that you were, and obviously we've gone forward to amend the plan accordingly.
That's great. That's as simple as that, Anne. Thank you very much.
Grêt, diolch Jackie, a diolch Ann am yr ymateb. A cytuno â sylwadau Jackie, dwi'n meddwl mae'r cynllun yn mor bwysig, a'r holl gwaith sydd wedi cael ei roi mewn gyda swyddogion ac aelodau, mwyn sicrhau bod ni wedi cyrraedd y man hyn ar trobwynt hyn, gobeithio bod ni'n gallu cymryd hwn mlaen ac sicrhau bod Llywodraeth Cymru yn gweld y pwysigrwydd mae cynllun ni hwn. Cynllun y canolbarth i hwn, ddim jyst cynllun Llywodraeth Cymru. Diwedd y dydd, i ni wedi dod lan ar syniadau hyn a cael ei ddatblygu mwyn paratoi cynllun sydd yn delfrydol i ni fel y canolbarth. Mi'n credu bod e'n gofid a wedi'r ffynonell arian, a wedi hwnnw, a wedi'r Llywodraeth Cymru yn mynd i rhoi'r arian i ni, os na bod e'n dilyn beth yw ei priorities nhw. Ond mae yna wastad yn gofid wrth gwrs, ond mi'n credu bod y syniadau wedi dod trwyddo fan hyn, ac fel mae'r ymatebion wedi dod nôl yn perthnosol iawn i beth sydd angen ni o fewn Ceredigion a Powys. So ie, diolch. Ddim yn gweld dwylo eraill lan, felly os ewn ni nôl at yr adroddiad, felly mae Ann wedi... Clive, ie.
Chair, I'm afraid I might confuse matters again, but I'm going to ask a question because I got to ask what I got to ask. On page 44 of the bundle, this is paragraph 3.1.3. It refers to the case for change being included in Appendix 1. I couldn't find Appendix 1 apart from on the bundle, but the Appendix 1 is not Appendix 1 at all. It appears to be the RTP. And I'm just wondering if only I'm getting confused by that.
Yeah, Clive. Ann, wyt ti'n gallu gweld y dogfen? Jyst yn mynd trwyddo fe.
Yeah, I'm just going to go through it, Chair.
I think the case for change is the RTP itself.
There is an appendix document. Bear with me. It is here. It's just a lot of pages that I need to go through.
I think it starts on page 89, Anne, but I don't think it's labelled as Appendix 1.
So obviously,
right.
So obviously, when I sent it up, they were all everything was labelled, so they've just been bundled together to come out. So I can only apologise. I was unable to check the website.
Right.
So
okay.
From page 89 onwards, that is the case.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you ever so much. Thank you.
No, diolch, Clive. John Forsey, please.
Clive, I just wonder whether you're looking at the PDF version, which is about 130 pages long, because I was looking at that and I got a bit confused as well. But if you look on the intranet page, it's all set out on there.
Well, I'm looking at the agenda pack. Yes, that's what I'm looking at.
There was a link in one of the emails sent around. There's a link to the intranet page, and it's set out on there.
Thank you.
Yeah, Clive?
Right, thank you very much. I've got page 89 now. Thank you.
No, no. Okay, great, diolch. Yeah. Okay. Just mynd nôl lan i'r... Right, yeah. So, diolch Ann am y cyflwyniad. Felly, os edrychwn ni ar yr adroddiad, so i rhoi diweddariad i'r is-bwyllgor cynllunio trafnidiaeth rhanbarthol, ar gynnydd y gwaith ar y cynllun trafnidiaeth rhanbarthol, penderfyniad a geisir am, nodi cynnwys yr adroddiad ar y cynllun trafnidiaeth, ac wedyn by argymell dylai'r cynllun trafnidiaeth rhanbarthol drafft ar y todiadau mynd allan ar gyfer ymgynghoriad cyhoeddus. Felly, wel, fel i ni wedi cael y cyflwyniad yn dilyn mwy neu lai beth sydd ar yr, yn dilyn dim mwy neu lai, yn dilyn yr adroddiad, bod o tudalen 7, 8, 9, 9 i 10. Felly, wedi ni gyd yn hapus i mynd trwy'r penderfyniad, a Clive gyntaf, please.
Chair, decision, the recommendation B, which is on page 9, should be the recommendation should be that the draft plan is recommended to the CJC to go to consultation, because it is the CJC which makes the decision and not this committee.
You're going to take, yeah. Yeah, sorry, yeah. Okay, hwnna'n iawn. Iawn. So, newn ni yr ddau ar wahân wedyn, dy Clive, dy beth? Newn ni'r ddau argymelliad ar wahân.
You can do them both together, Chair, provided that you take into account the amendment which I've suggested is needed.
Yeah, iawn. Okay, felly, penderfyniad y geisir am yw A, nodi cynnwys yr adroddiad ar y cynllun trafnidiaeth rhanbarthol drafft ar y todiadau. B, wedyn, argymellau a dylai'r cynllun trafnidiaeth rhanbarthol drafft cael ei gymrydwyo gyda'r cydbwyllgor, a hwnnw wedyn i fynd allan ar gyfer ymgynghoriad cyhoeddus. Hwna'n iawn fel Clive?
The draft regional transport plan is recommended to the CJC for consultation. That's what I would word it, Chair.
Yep, na ni. Iawn. So, wel, yn gwmwys beth wedodd Clive yna de, i safio fi i gyfeithio fe nôl. So, os mae rhywun yn barod yna i gynnig. Alun, gynta?
Well, yeah, I was just going to ask, do we have a date for the public consultation? You said February, March. Do we have a more exact date than that?
Yeah, from the 1st of February to the 30th of March.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Iawn, Alun?
Yep.
Iawn. Os rhywun yn bodlon cynnig wedyn ar y ddau penderfyniadau, please.
Well, my hand won't go down, so I might as well propose.
Alun yn cynnig de. Jackie? Eilio?
I'm happy to second that. Thank you, Chair.
Gret, diolch yn fawr. Iawn. Felly, os awn ni dangos ein dwylo fyna de, bod ni gyd yn hapus i na ddigwydd. Iawn, na ni. Gret. Diolch yn fawr. Iawn fyna, Clive? Hapus dyna?
Thank you very much, Chair.
Good, diolch. Okay. Lewn ni mlaen wedyn de i pwynt 6, dy fe unrhyw fater arall. Pwy sydd y fi ar yr agenda fan hyn? Os chi moyn rhoi'ch llaw lan. Os mae da chi pwyntiau i gael. Ann? Add mute, sorry Ann.
Yes, Chair. A member of the Scrutiny Committee raised an issue in regard to the Montgomery Canal and some wording within the RTP.
Sorry, yes.
I just wanted to raise that with you and to advise you that I had indicated that we would deal with that as part of the public consultation, if you agree.
Yeah. Iawn. Hapus dyna. Pawb arall hapus? Aline, yeah?
Well, as someone who raised this a bit, can you explain a little bit more what you mean by that, Anne?
I can send you a copy of the objection, but I would normally send it out as part of the formal process to be considered. I haven't got the exact wording with me currently here. I just wanted to raise it with you that a member had raised an issue. But hold, let me just try and get it up for you. I can read it then. I apologise, I wasn't prepared.
Fel bod ni'n disgwyl iawn. Fi'n credu y gofid sydd gyda ni gyd, wrth gwrs yw, oedi yr arian i gyd yn mynd i lawr i'r de dwyrain eto. Felly mae'n brydol bod y cynllun mor gryf a phosib da ni o ran y canolbarth i sicrhau bod ni'n cael rhan deg o'r gacen. Yn lle'r brwsio nhwyd. A pwynt personol yna, wrth gwrs. Mi'n siŵr bod sawl un yn cytuno.
It's a very fair one.
Okay, so the comment, Councillor Williams, was in regard to page 527 of the delivery, which is the delivery plan, and reference to WCW4, the implementation of walking, cycling and wheeling along the Montgomery Canal, Welsh Pool to Llanymynech, will require the lifting of 4 road bridges. And the comment was made was, to my mind, the bridges would only need lifting to allow navigation of boats. And obviously that's something for the working group to consider as part of the public consultation.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, I think I imagined that navigation of boats would be included in the plan. But it seems to only include walking, wheeling, and cycling, and not navigation of boats. But I agree, if unless you're dealing with navigation of boats, you probably don't need to lift the bridges. But there is a plan to lift at least 3 of the bridges for the navigation of boats. So I felt that should be in there.
My recommendation to you is that we consider it formally as part of the public consultation and not to delay the RTP now.
Yeah, fi'n credu bod hwnna'n pwynt digon teg. Ti'n hapus dan Alun? Iawn?
Okay.
Ie, hynny yw, bydd na ddileu i gael yn cael y cynllun draw wedyn, wrth gwrs. Rwy'n arall a dwylo lan? Neu sylwadau ydych chi? Na, dim yn gweld dim byd. Felly, os ych chi'n gyd yn hapus fyna, ewn ni mlaen am yr dyddiadau'r cyfarfodydd nesaf wedyn, de? Felly, maen nhw lawr ar yr agenda fel yr 9 ar 20 o Ebrill. A wedyn yr 8fed o Orffennaf hefyd. So, fi'n siŵr bydd na un ni'n dod allan fel marc dyddiadur. Ond ewch yn siŵr bod nhw mewn nawr dych chi wedyn. Cynghorydd Jackie, please. Iawn, Jackie?
Yeah, just a quick request really, and you couldn't put up that timetable again, could you? Because I've already forgotten all the dates that were on there, and just to see how they relate to this, because I'm just keen to see how much longer we've got to go with this. I want to see it working. I want to see it moving. You're on mute.
I'll just found it now. I'm just going to share it with you.
Thank you.
Diolch.
So hopefully you can see this, that we're here with the Welsh Government review, which obviously put us back. So public consultation is now February to March.
Right.
Yeah.
We then move on to final draft April. The CJC review and approve, hopefully April. Welsh Government period of review. They had agreed to do it as part of the public consultation. So throughout February and March, we would have meetings with the working group and government to go through the views from public consultation, to try and close them out as they come in, and to agree that, so that final RTP and documents would be ready for May, and to be signed off and sent to government in May. And we're hoping that the government would approve that by June.
So that meeting, the next meeting on the 29th of April, then coincides with that point there, the final
Yeah.
RTP. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So will we have, just remind me what you just said then. So will we have the working group? Will we have meetings with Welsh Government in the meantime?
Yeah, that they will be part of that those working group meetings.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So we can keep on, Keith. And we've just got to keep on labouring this point, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise we're just going to be missed. I think we're being heard, but we just don't know. And I think it's important that our points that we have kept making, everybody's kept making, about the real importance of this transport plan.
Yeah. Na, cytuno. Wel, cofiwch, os chi'n siarad ar ei cyngorwyr lawr y de dwyrain, mae fel se, mae nhw sy'n cael eu brwsion. Am sy'n mae nhw rhyw bedwar tren yn mynd bob awr, mae nhw'n meddwl bod yna'n hollol disaster, sy'n syniad yn nhw se. Yn argwirionedd y peth. John Forsey, please.
I don't want to go off piste a little bit, but picking up on your points, Councillor Keith and Councillor Jackie, I am actually giving evidence tomorrow at the Active Travel Committee. One of the questions is around funding, and the only thing which I can see is consistent in the funding at the moment is Powys and Ceredigion and the Rural Authority seem to be at the bottom of the pile. So I can try and make that point somehow if you're in agreement with that.
Hapus yna, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hapus ar gwylod bob tabl ar hyn o bryd fi'n credu, so mae'n bwysig bod ni'n neud y pwyntiau yna. Sean James, please.
Yes, Jan, really. So, obviously, this is going to go out to consultation. But what does that consultation look like? Because obviously this is a pretty thick document for people to read and provide. Is it just going to be like an open comment they're going to give? Are we going to be asking them specific questions? I'm not exactly quite sure what the consultation itself is going to look like.
Okay, we've been working with the leaders on a opening video explaining process. There's a questionnaire to go out with the papers and an opportunity to invite comments. There will be an easy read version as well to accompany the documentation to try and help the public. It was all within our engagement plan.
Yeah, I just possibly haven't seen all that. I don't know. Is that going to be, are those sort of questions on the questionnaire going to be approved or governed? Is there going to be any governance around that, or is that just going to be between you and the consultants to?
Well, obviously we've taken it out through the comms teams in both authorities.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry that you feel that you've been left out, Sean.
All right.
Ond byddai'r tîmau cyfathrebu wrth gwrs wedi cael golwg ar ein i sicrhau bod nhw'n allan, achos mae fe'n rhywbeth unrhyw ymgynghoriad, mae fe'n faint o fanylder sy'n mynd mewn na, a faint o ymateb yn mynd i gael na, os mae'r rhandeiliad yn cymeryd y cyfle er mwyn sicrhau bod yn cwbwlau yn y broses ymgysylltu mae i ni gael eisiau gymryd y gwybodaeth nôl a phosib. Clive, please.
Chair, can I suggest that this committee, together with officers, gets sent a copy of the consultation document in advance, so that'll satisfy Sean's point and gives the opportunity for members of this committee to make suggestions should they wish to improve them or alter them.
Ie, cytuno. So allu hwnna fod yn pwynt gweithredu. Ie, mae hwnna'n bwynt digon teg hwnna, Clive. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Hwnna'n iawn dy ti fyna, Sean.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, gret, diolch. Cos amser ni'n gweud bod ni gwylod bob tabl ariannol, achos amser mae'n dod i perfformiad i ni lan gyda'r top trwyddo Gymru draws, felly mae'n sicrhau bod ni'n cael y pwynt na draw. A falle hefyd, John, nath i di weid na fori, ti'n bod, i ni goffo gweithio dwbl mwy galed na beth mae awdurdodau eraill yn goffo wneud, achos hwn yn y lle arian sydd â ni ar y ardaloedd gwledig i ni goffo gwasanaethu. Felly, na ni, diolch. Na ni, dau off y soapbox nawr. Felly, ie, dyddiadau cyfarfodydd nesaf, so i ni gyd wedi cael rheina. Yn gweld i mi'n llaw arall lan, neu cwestiwn arall, neu sylw. So, na i galw'r cyfarfod i derbyn wedyn, de. A diolch yn fawr iawn i chi gyd am fyny chi a cymeru rhan wedyn. Diolch yn fawr iawn i chi.
Well,
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, members.